there's not a stocked cupboard in Cleveland. You have Kevin Love, we assume, coming back, although I don't know how you can really assume his health at this point in his career. You have Colin Sexton there, a lottery pick, and then you'll have this year's lottery pick. But it's not as though they are on the cusp of winning something or have a great young star player in the making that a coach is going to want to jump in on. So how does John Beilein get to the Cleveland Cavaliers? Well, here's the ties. Cavs GM Kobe Altman and his assistant GM Mike Gansey have a close relationship with Beilein. Gansey, you might remember, played on Beilein's team at West Virginia. Beilein coached Gansey when they went all the way to the Elite Eight. And Dan Gilbert, who owns the Cavaliers, is a Michigan guy, works in Detroit. Now, Dan Gilbert's oftentimes been connected with the Michigan State program, but obviously being in state has a familiarity with John Beilein. Now, apparently Beilein has been told, you get to run everything. You get to create the culture here. But there is a GM and an assistant GM, so you can't have control of personnel. But they say, we want you here for the long term. We want you to build a culture. We want you to give us your imprint on the franchise, which all sounds good. I like the idea of John Beilein being given reign to do this because he's a wonderful coach. And anybody that knows, every place he has been, he has won, and he has won big, and he has just had an incredible climb through Division III and junior colleges to Michigan and West Virginia and all the stops in between. He has been phenomenal. And he's so wildly underrated when we talk about guys who have won championships. Coach K gets all the accolades, and Tom Izzo, and Jim Boeheim, and Roy Williams. But John Beilein's every bit as good a coach as those guys. He just does not have the one national championship. So I'm all for giving Beilein reign and leash to do what he wants to do. But doing it in the NBA is totally different than college. And I have to imagine that they really spent big. That's the only way this makes a ton of sense, unless John Beilein says, I'm just sick of recruiting in college, and I'd rather go to the NBA kind of like Billy Donovan and say that I'm going to be there a couple of years, make big-time money, and I'm out of the college game for the time being. And, who knows? Maybe the college game for everybody in it is changing rapidly under their feet with the FBI investigation, discussions about paying players, perhaps. But does that work at the NBA level, a college coach? We've seen Brad Stevens have some success. We've seen Billy Donovan have some success. But can Beilein have the same effect on professional players as he has in the college game? That I don't know. But also, they better be prepared to lose, because the Cavaliers aren't going to turn this thing around overnight. I'm sure they're paying him buku bucks, and my hope is that he got a number of guaranteed years. Maybe all 5 of them are guaranteed. But the Cavs don't have anything here that you would say, okay, well, now they'll be a winner. Now they can be a contender, or we can see the horizon, unless they get Zion, which is in play. But they're going to have something like that to where you really believed in them right away. I have to feel like for John Beilein, most of this is, I know the guys in the front office, I know the owner, and I'm getting a huge chunk of change